Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. TammyTalks here. All right, y'all, we are back for the last episode of Love is Blind, Season 4, Episode 8. Jackie is trash. Josh is trash. What else happened? Micah has the absolute worst friends. Chelsea is selfish. Bliss girl, this is on you. Zach is weird. Let's talk about it. If you're brand new to my channel, do breakdowns on various TV shows, scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So if you enjoy that, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. If you have been coming back to my channel, typing in Tammy Talks Love is Blind every week, squash that. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, y'all, so that next week you will get notified whenever I post these videos. Like the video. Like the video, like the video, like the video. Liking the video helps push us up into the algorithm. We are almost at 9,000 subscribers. A huge, large in part to y'all from Love is Blind. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, if you haven't subscribed, let's do that. All right? Let's jump right into it. So Blix and Zach, we see the picture. So she accepts his proposal, which I kind of figured she was going to. And then she tells him he better not F up again. He said he will try not to. She said now she has to tell her family that the guy that dumped her before has proposed to her now. I said, girl, why you telling me you got dumped already? I would have kind of let that marinate for a little bit, but this is what happens when you insert your family into your business too fast. So he said that he knew he was going to propose to her the moment that he got back from Mexico. And I said, yeah? The moment you got back from Mexico. Okay. So she said in her confessional that she knew he was her person from the first date. She feels that this is just right in her eyes, and right is right, love is love, blah, blah, blah. She's all in. She wants to do this thing, so we're going to let you do it, Bliss. We are going to let you do it, but so you, girl. So, and then his eyes were open when they kissed. And I said, you are weird. There is a way to maintain eye contact. Because I'm a huge eye contact person. It doesn't show on camera because I be looking all around. But I am a huge eye contact person. So if we're in person, I'm going to make eye contact. You know what I have never done now? Kiss with my eyes open because it's weird. It is weird. So we go over to, we are now 12 days out from the wedding. So Micah and Paul are meeting her parents. She tells her parents she's engaged. Because she didn't tell them prior to this. They knew she was in the process. They did not know she got engaged. So she has all these ideas for the wedding. Tells her parents, y'all want to come? Y'all can come on, go. She's like, she wants it to be vintage and this and that. And, you know, my friend Chelsea's going to be there. You know Chelsea, right? And Rachel in this like, Micah. So then she's like, and Paul's just going to go with whatever because, you know, this is just what I want. I said, It's like sometimes they pick up a red flag and just chuck it at somebody. It is amazing. They chuck these red flags at people. So her mom said, where are y'all going to live? Micah said, at his place. I said, Micah, you a damn lie. You know you do not want to live in his apartment. So then she said after, you know, she like redecorates it up. And I said, okay, girl, get rid of them couches off the street. Couches don't even cost that much. You can go to IKEA, get you a nice little set, a nice little something. If you want to, you know, step it up a notch, go to like an Ashley Furniture. Go to a Rooms to Go, a Coders, a Steinhoffel's. You know, there are places y'all can go. So she then said that when they have kids, that their family is going, they're going to have a bigger place, but her family is going to have to live with them on a compound because somebody got to watch these kids. And I said, oh, okay. She also mentions not thinking that she would ever find love outside of this process. Isn't Micah 26? I just feel like this show, you should have to be like, I don't know, 33 or better to come on here. Because I feel like a 26-year-old saying that I had no choice but to go on a dating reality show is weird in terms to finding love. You haven't tried. You haven't tried. In the end, her parents approve. It is smooth sailing from now. Then we get to this toxic mess. So we have Marshall and Jackie. And y'all see, if somebody is talking to you and going like this, they're not pleased. Because if I'm talking to you and I hit you with one of these, and then don't let me link them, it means that I'm really about to go the F off. So Marshall said the relationship is bleak. We see him pulling luggage out of his car and walking back to their house. So he said in his confessional that him and Jackie had a little spat where she told him he needed to boss up. He wasn't a man. He wasn't doing grown man stuff. Remember when I told y'all not only last episode, last recap, but I want to say last week that Jackie is somebody that wants toxic masculinity? Here we go. So because of that, he left, went to stay at his apartment because he felt himself about to blow up. We have seen Marshall has a temper. So he comes back and now she's packing. He asks her, so you're leaving? She said, yeah, you didn't want to talk, so now I'm leaving. She said that she wanted him to be more aggressive. She said they don't have sex. He said, oh, and that's my fault? I said, what? So then she goes on to say that you're irking me. Everything about you is irking me right now. So he said that whenever he does get aggressive, she shuts him down. So she was like, you're not aggressive. So then he was like, what do you want me to do? So then she gets mad. I'm sorry for clapping in your ear. So then she gets mad and she's like, who are you clapping at? You! I'm clapping at you, heifer. So then he's like, you wanted me to get aggressive? Boom, bow. Now I'm aggressive. I said, ain't there some shit here? Look at this here. I'm embarrassed for Jackie. I am. I know ick is the new thing. I feel ick for Jackie. So Jackie says in her confessional, I wasn't even derogatory towards him, I just wanted him to boss up and not be like a old grandpa, but I ain't saying it in a rude way. I said, Jackie, how did you say it then, babe? Where's that B footage? How did you say it? Because I just kind of feel like telling a man to boss up and be more of a man is very degrading. It's very emasculating. We see that Marshall is a more sensitive man, but Marshall also does have a temper. You know what I mean? So I guess I don't know what Jackie wants from him. To be real, I don't know what Jackie wants from Marshall. So he then tells her that he's always kissing on her or rubbing on her. He said, what do you do for me? What have you done for me lately? Word to Janet Jackson, okay? That is from the prophetess, the prophetess Janet Jackson, okay? What have you done for me lately? So she then says, so why are you with me then? He said, because I saw you as a project and I thought you had potential. I said, y'all, the way I die, not a project, Marshall. Not a project, Marshall. You saw her as a project? Oh, ooh, that is fighting words. Don't call me no fucking project. Those are fights. He lucky he didn't get slapped. Because she looked like she throw him. He is lucky he didn't get slapped. But I felt like it would have turned very Ike and Tina had that happened. So he said that he thought that she would eventually come around. So then she was like, a project? And she really walks away now, as she should. So then he backtracks and was like, look, not a project. I saw you as somebody that has limitless potential that I can uplift and empower. That's a project, Marshall. That's a project, Marshall. That's a project, babe. So he then tells her that this is what happens in committed relationships. You have a tough conversation even when you don't want to. All of a sudden, Jackie starts crying, gets up, goes and hugs him, tells him that she's sorry and she loves him. I said, what? Jackie was not ready for this process. Jackie was not ready for this process. And Netflix knew that, so they give us our shining star, Brett and Tiffany. I didn't even get a picture. But she's once again teasing him, calling him bougie. She's stressing about everything. She's stressing about the cake. She's stressing about the dress, getting everybody there. She was like, you're not panicking? And he was like, no, I'm calm because I am not doubting anything. I want this future with you. So I don't feel any pressure because this is what I want to do. I'm cool, calm, and collected because I know that I want you. I know that you are the woman for me. I love you. I'm cool. Ready to get this thing popping. I said, okay, Brett is so smooth. Brett is so handsome. Tiffany, if you don't want him, I'll take him. I mean, I'll move to Seattle. So then we get Bliss and Zach. And it was in this scene that led me to believe she ain't gonna say yes. She's not gonna say yes at that altar. So they're moving into the house. They're like, keeping up with the process like everyone else. So he puts the suitcase on the bed. What is with y'all doing that? Why do y'all think that's okay to do? When this suitcase has been through the airport, in the back of a taxi or Uber of some sort, then in the belly of the plane, then on the ground, then on the conveyor belt to come down to spin around the carousel for somebody to pick it up. It's not there. Now they throwing it back down for you to pick it back up, put it back into a taxi, a Uber, or the trunk of your dirty ass car to wheel back. Why do y'all want that on your bed? It is a very certain demographic of person that does that. I'm not going to say it. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So he says in his confessional that it typically takes him a very long time to make a decision. But he feels very sure of this. So she tells him they're sitting down eating because all we ever see Zach do is fucking eat. Nigga got a tapeworm or something. So she tells him that she's grumpy in the morning and it's not going to feel like they're really, really in this together until the next morning when they wake up. And then, now we're starting our day and going from there. So she tells him that it's weird to be engaged to somebody that was just engaged. She then said that she cried so much over him that she's done crying over him, period. Which means that you mess up again, done, sir. And she said that she's battling her pride because a part of her never wanted to talk to him again. Now, I don't know if y'all are catching this, but every time that Bliss brings up what has happened, Zach kind of rolls his eyes as if he expects her to be over it. I've had some comments that I've been seeing where people are saying, oh, well, Bliss needs to let it go. Bliss is going to push him away. Who gives a flying fuck? And I'm saying this from the perspective that I don't think that Zach is a terrible person. I don't. I think he's a little weird. I think his eye contact is very intense. But I don't think that Zach is a bad person. But at the same time, keep that foot on his neck, sis. Keep it on his neck. Remind this man that yes, you did dump me after I warned you about this other crazy heifer that you picked, that embarrassed you, that didn't like you, that was rude to you, that was horrible to you, and now you came crawling back over here to me. Keep your foot on his neck. So she then tells him that she's been very forgiving, but she does have concerns of being his second choice. Now, Bliss, this is on you because you should have never, one, agreed to meet with him again. Two, you should have never accepted that proposal. Ever. Because now here's the thing with that too, like on top of the second choice, which we'll get to in a moment, you are now only living with this man for 2 weeks. You're not even getting the full exposure, the full experience of being with him. Like you're depriving yourself. So he then tells her, well, you're clearly not the second choice. And then she says, I clearly am. He then tells her that, well, you're the better choice for me. She was like, yeah, I know I'm better than her. He then tells her, there goes that pretentious attitude. I don't like them together, y'all. I just don't. If they would have gotten together from jump, I think I would be more on board with it. But the way that the faces he makes, the way he rolls his eyes, the little jabs that he takes at her, because his saying she's pretentious is not the same way that Tiffany teases Brett about being bougie. It doesn't have the same vibe to it. It doesn't have the same tone to it. It just doesn't. So he said that no part of him wants Irina She was like, clearly it did though, because you proposed to her. He was like, yeah, until I met her. Zach, that doesn't make it sound any better. It doesn't make it sound any better. I think what Zach is missing is the fact that you dumped this woman, told her you didn't want to marry her. You liked this other woman better. This other woman didn't like you from the moment she saw you, yet you still continue to go through with it. She treats you like shit. You wait up until she tells you, let's sit separately on the plane, for you to not want to be with her anymore, then for you to want to go back to Bliss and expect Bliss to just be like, it wasn't a second choice. In Zach's mind, her being a second choice would be if he still wanted to be with Irina and she didn't want to be with him. No, Zach, this is a second choice. Your first choice was the woman that you proposed to first in them pods. That is Irina. This is your second choice. This is your backup choice. But Bliss, you are putting yourself into this situation. He then tells her that this doesn't make her the second choice because he don't want to be with Irina. He wants to be with her. I said, this is a mess. This is a mess. This is a mess. And somebody called Bliss trash in my comments. Why? Why is Bliss trash? What has she done? Ooh, Lord. Y'all just. So then we get Kwame and Chelsea. Chelsea's getting on my nerves now too. So they take Rocky to get groomed, her dog, and she starts talking about kids. She's like, growing up, I've always wanted to have 6 kids. Chelsea's what, 31? 32? She's in her 30s, right? So she says she never pictured herself as an older mom. So she was like, so 3 years would be okay to have kids, right? And Kwame is like, okay. Kwame said he always pictured himself as having this like epic marriage where him and his spouse are traveling the world and doing all these things together. So he said, we already have the dog, so we can't pick up and go because of the dog. He said, and then, I work remote, you don't. So I can pick up and take my laptop anywhere and we can work. You can't do the same. So she was like, you can have a baby and travel. He's like, oh, so we take the baby to Cabo? Yes. You take the baby to Cabo, or you have the grandparents or somebody watches the baby. So she said, or we can get a nanny or I can homeschool. He was like, you're saying that like it's easy. Marriage is not easy. Marriage is hard work. It's work. Relationships are work. Being an adult is work. It's hard work. It's not easy. So she then asked him, do you even want to settle down? And he was like, yeah, why would you say that? Because you're acting like you don't. You're acting like you want to be a 22-year-old that doesn't have major responsibilities and that is just able to party and do whatever. And when you embark into a marriage or a long-term serious relationship, that is not the way that it goes. So he then said that he's willing to do this for them. So she was like, so it sounds more like a sacrifice. He was like, I'm not sacrificing, but I am compromising. And the compromisation of it all is huge on my side, which it is because, he's going to be moving to Seattle. He's going to be doing all these things. And I say to you again, Kwame, if you lived in Portland, why would you go to Seattle to sign up for a show that is full of people that live in Seattle and then be shocked when the person expects you to move to Seattle? So he said that all he wants is his feelings to be considered. She was like, considered. They ain't gonna make it. They not gonna make it. So then we get this horrendous scene with Micah, Paul, and Micah's hating ass friend Shelby. Micah's friend is having a birthday party, so she figures to introduce Paul to all my friends. So Paul tells her friends that the reason that they connected in the pods is that they would laugh and have this back and forth banter all the time, and that's what drew Micah to him. Her friends are like, yeah, it's a skill to date Micah. And I said, are y'all drunk? Have y'all been drinking already? Y'all couldn't get through this scene first before y'all started knocking them back? But look at her. That's how she was drinking all night. So they then tease him for being articulate. I said, ain't this some shit? They teased this man for being articulate and well spoken. So they said they aren't used to that. So don't talk to us like that. So then he was like, oh, I guess this is just a roast. Let's roast Paul. So Shelby said, don't say stuff like that to me because then I'll get bitchy and then I'll get mad. And I would have said, who gives a fuck, Shelby? Shelby was a lot. So then Micah was like, yeah, she's easily angered. Paul said, I don't care. And she was like, you don't care? I don't care. I said, come on, Paul. Kudos to you. Why do I care that your friend that's a fucking hater gets easily angered? I don't care. So Micah was like, that's the wrong attitude to have. No, it's not. Micah, your attitude is what this shows me is that Micah is a follower. Micah's a follower. So Shelby is basically Irene with blonde hair. Micah is a follower. Micah is a beta friend. So whatever her friend does, she just kind of falls in line with. So now Shelby is sitting there looking at him, glaring at him. And he was like, I'm going to go into the bathroom. So when he leaves, Shelby, her one friend, Michaela, I cut her off because she wasn't bad. Michaela is like, I like him. It's okay. Cool. Shelby was like, I don't like him. Girl, why? You don't have no reason not to. So she said that she's more protective of Micah and starts crying. I said, what is going on here? So she said they weren't meant to be and you deserve the best wedding and the best marriage and this isn't in and I don't like him. And then we see Shelby like run and leave the party. Shelby, are you secretly in love with Micah? Because that's what it's giving. It's given I'm jealous of my friend and I don't want my friend to have a relationship or be married because I'm not. Because Micah did mention how, yeah, she breaks up with people for me. Really? Really? You don't think that's weird? Who needs enemies when you got friends like Shelby? Who needs them? Kudos to you, Paul, for standing up for yourself. So then we get Chelsea's birthday party. A lot happened. I got this one picture because this was the biggest mess to me. So Josh shows up. Bliss and Zach show up together. They're engaged. Everybody's ah. So then Marshall shows up solo. So everybody is like, oh my God, what happened? He talks to Chelsea, said that him and Jackie had a little situation, but she's on her way. They're just in a little weird spot. Kwame and Tiffany are talking. Kwame's telling Tiffany how he feels that him and Chelsea's lifestyles are so different. She tells him, don't compromise your lifestyle all the way. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do this compromising, make sure that it makes you happy in the same token. She also tells him, be sure about what it is that you truly want. Bliss and Micah have a conversation where Micah tells Bliss, Mexico was a mess, girl. She didn't like him. He didn't like her. She said, but then she's also like, she likes my dude. So I had to check her ass in about that. And Micah was like, I told her, if there's that many people that don't like you, sis, you're the problem. I said, it's so funny how now that the venom, the bitchiness, the cattiness is coming Micah's way, now she has a problem with what Irene is doing. But when Irene was doing this to everybody else, it was okay though, right? Cool. Brett and Marshall have a conversation where Marshall tells Brett that Jackie wants him to be more aggressive in the bedroom. He was like, she want me to, slap her up and shit a little bit, choke her out. That's not me. I'm not doing that. He then said that Jackie wants toxic love, and he's been with women like this that are not used to him being like a good dude. So he said that he knew it was bad, but he didn't know it was like this bad. And she is self-sabotaging the relationship. He said, we're 2 weeks out and I don't know where we stand. Leave her crazy ass where she at. I would like to see Marshall and Bliss get together. That's very cute aesthetically. Aesthetically, that's cute. So Jackie comes and she doesn't even speak to Marshall right away. She comes in and hugs everybody else. She goes over to Marshall. She has on like a little strapless, sleeveless situation. And I don't know if she says she was cold, but he puts the coat around her. And she was like, it's messing up my vibe. So then Josh is there. Josh is drunk. I want to point that out very, very early because Josh is drunk and it's the reason that he's behaving the way that he is. So Josh is drunk, and he is saying how he wants to put his feelings first and go stir the pot. He said because Marshall didn't care about his feelings in the pods, so why should he care about Marshall's feelings now? So I don't like Josh's voice. He sounds very Bay Area. I've never been to Seattle. Is that how y'all talk? He sounds very Bay Area though. So Kwame and Micah are talking, sick of them, sick and tired of this back and forth with them. Kwame said that, people are asking him if he's excited for the wedding. He don't want people to ask him that because you're not excited about the wedding. People that are, I bet you if you ask Brett and Tiffany, I bet they say yeah. So he asked Micah if she feels that she made the right choice. And she was like, she's unsure, but she's hopeful. Great answer, Micah. Kudos to you, sis. Great answer. So she was like, why would you ask me that? Are you unsure? And he was like, I want to be like, yeah. Chelsea wants you to move to Seattle, and Micah's gonna want you to spend half your time in Arizona. So between Seattle and Arizona. So you better off with Chelsea if the moving is what's bothering you. So Kwame said in his confessional, Chelsea is his person. He loves her. They're great for each other. It's what he needs. But Micah has a place in his heart. Kwame acting like he has been when he was dating Micah for like 6 months or something. That girl does not have a place in your heart. She doesn't. She just doesn't. I'm sick of hearing that shit. So then Amber comes in. I said, come on, Amber. And you can see Paul kind of look over, but was like, it's not even worth it. Now, where is the scene that they were teasing us where somebody, wasn't it Paul, that takes the ring off of somebody and says, I should have gave this to you? Is that coming next episode? That's the scene I want to see. Micah looks a little nervous that Amber is there because you don't have your wing woman there to laugh or, to cover for you. But it seems like the other women don't have a problem with Micah. They really just had a problem with Irina. So then Josh goes up with his drunk lame ass, goes up to Marshall and says, Mr. Steal Your Girl is here. I said, I know you fucking lying. I said, wow. Okay. So then Marshall is like, the fuck was that? And we see him like crush something. I said, oh, they about to fight. I said, it's about to be a fight. So Jackie's talking to Bliss and Micah, and she tells him that she's torn. So Josh comes over and asks the other ladies if he can talk to Jackie alone. He calls Marshall NBA cryboy. See, this is how you know that Josh is immature, but this is what Jackie wants. Jackie wants the immature, toxic man. That's what she wants. So he said Marshall was up in there crying about everybody. No, he wasn't. So Josh sounds drunk. He's like, because if you want to be with me, you be with me. If you want to be with him, you're supposed to be with me. I said, the fuck is what? Get him some water. Get him some milk. What is going on? So basically, Josh is like, I love you. I've been in love with you. Jackie said it's interesting how we're talking about emotions now, but we never talked about emotions in the pods. And Josh was like, that's not true. Jackie said, no, you never got deep with me, bro. You never got deep with me when we were in the pods. So, like, why are you trying to get deep with me now? Josh is like, that's not true. We. I said, look at this. Look at this drunk nigga. I like, it was so cringe and hard to watch. So then Josh is like, look, if you're gonna marry somebody, you're gonna marry somebody. But who would I be if I didn't tell you how I felt? He then was like, so, but if you don't want to marry somebody, you're gonna marry somebody, pick me. I said, Jackie, for the sheer fact alone that he's drunk and not making sense, you should have been turned off. For that sheer fact alone. So basically, Josh is up in there being a simp, being a lame, being a drunken mess, trying to get Jackie to go with him. And because Jackie likes that toxic type of shit, she's thinking about it. She's thinking about it. Let me know what you guys thought about everything that happened in this episode. If you have not already, subscribe, thumbs up the video. If you really hated it, thumbs it down. Hop in the comment section, and I will catch you guys next week.